So I wanted to talk a little bit about this distribution of severity of pronation and supination chart here. This is basically a culmination of 25 years of data collecting from measuring pronation with our clients. And what it basically does is takes the full spectrum of our measuring system and then distributes kind of in percentages who has how much pronation. So 0 is the best foot ever. 18 was our worst measurement ever. 0 to 2.5 is the zone that I consider, or 3 degrees is the functional zone. So if you're in the 0 to 2.5 or 3 degree zone, basically you have the foot we're trying to give other people. And that represents 10% of the human population. 2.5 to 6 degrees represents 20% of the population. 6 degrees to 12 degrees is 40% of the population. 12 to 15 degrees, again, is 20%, and 15 to 18 is, again, 10%. So it breaks it down in percentages. It ends up being a perfect bell curve of distribution. The interesting thing is that only 10% of people have functional feet relative to flat ground, okay? So if you're walking in sand, it doesn't matter. If you're walking on dirt, inconsistent dirt, doesn't matter. But it turns out that everywhere we walk, the world has been flattened out by a bulldozer or somebody with pavement or concrete. This line up here is really interesting because what that does is it says the symptoms, orthopedic pain symptoms, begin at age. So people that are in the functional group, we don't usually meet until they're in their 70s. People in the moderate group, we meet when they're 60. People in the overpronator group, sometime between their 30s and their 50s. This excessive group between 12 and 15, these people are in pain in their 20s. And the extreme group are the people that begin to experience painful joints and muscles and whatnot in their teens. So it's really interesting how this chart applies to life. And if you reverse engineer this and you take teenagers that are in pain and you can mitigate and change how much their foot works and bring them somewhere into their functional zone, which is what we're trying to do, then that changes their pain output and everything changes. They play soccer, they play hockey, they play football. It's a great way to predict your future.